first. So let's start with yellow and black. Alright, so I'm going to start with yellow and black. I'm going to make a bead. Time to make the beads. So, what I need is different colors than I have right here. So I'm going to grab some, I'll be right back. And I got to get some white stringers and some intense black stringers for the eyes. This medium yellow for the bees. Hi. How are you doing? Hi, DeMarque. Hi. How you doing? Welcome. Okay, I'm gonna turn on this torch again, and we're gonna make some bees, y'all. It's bee time. Bees. Here we go. Hi, Ben. Hey, how you doing? Okay. All right, bees, y'all. This is how the bees are made. Hi, Ben. Bring your hand to work, Dave. Okay. I'm going to get a gather at the end of this first. And I'm going to add a small amount of black on the end of this. We're going to make a tiny little paddle. And I'm trying to make these as small as I possibly can. So my bees in the past are monstrous. They're like 2 inches long. They're too big. So I'm going back to the micro guys. And they take a little bit less time to make. And they are not as expensive, because right now the Italian glass is very expensive. So I'm making them smaller for that reason too, so I don't have to raise my prices for this order. So here's yellow. This is medium yellow, lemon yellow. Yeah, the little ones are definitely extra cute. They're way cuter. The little ones are so cute. The trick is you got to keep everything hot. So these take about 10 minutes to make, so you know that's what you're in for. So I've got yellow on one side and black on the other, and I'm going to take my stamp mashers. I'm going to squish them. Just squishing the yellow onto the black. So now I have one line of yellow and one line of black. Little ones. I'm trying to make them little. Gotta make the little baby ones. Okay, now I'm gonna put yellow on the other side. Now we're making the it's yellow on either side and black in the middle. And take this paddle, kind of even those guys out. And so I do this layering technique instead of striping for the beads. Like if I were to do yellow base and then try and stripe it by hand, I think that would be much harder. So this is the technique to make the beads. And this is the one. We have tried many different ways. This is the way. If somebody has a better idea, go on into it. So this is what it looks like right now. You got one side black and one side, you see that? A little bit. One side black and one side yellow. It's a little cheeseburger. So I'm going to keep it hot. If it gets too cool, like if you were able to see that yellow, it would bust up and crack if I put it back in the flame. So black dots on either side. And with one side, we're going to taper it just a little bit. On the other side, we're going to try and make it a little bit bigger. So one side's going to be the bee butt. I'll have a little stinger. Well, it doesn't have a stinger, but it will have a butt. A cheeseburger. Hamburgers? Not my gumdrop buttons. Hamburgers. So, I wish I had a cheeseburger. Yum. Actually, I had the most awesome soup for lunch today, so I'm good. I don't need a stinking cheeseburger. Okay, now I go black on the other side. This side's going to be a little bit bigger. Okay, melt it down. You don't want to get too close to the flame with the soft glass. This is Italian soft glass I'm using. And you don't want to get too close to the head of the torch, because if you do, it'll cook it too hot. This is Italian soft glass, and the soft glass does not like to be ultra hot. Doesn't need to be. And when it's red hot, it's on the move. When it's red hot, it's on the move. Okay, yellow. Be a little guy. They're really tiny. They take just as long to make. They take a little longer to make with the big ones, but the smaller ones I think are cuter. Okay. Okay, just a little bit at the end there. Little tiny push at the end. You don't want to make it too big. I'm going to put one more line down at the bottom and another black one, and that's going to be my bee bum. This is going to be the last line on this side. See how it's striped? A little bit there. And then you can also use gravity to kind of make it sink down and stretch a little bit. Okay, this is where we're at with the body. Okay. Now I'm going to take the yellow and go on top of this one. So I'm going to do yellow, and then I'm going to make the bee head. And I have to make 20 of these. What I've decided to do is I'm going to make 5 a day. Truck a day, 5 a day. Okay. So yellow, top of that black. Okay. There you go. We're going to do another layer of black. That's going to be bigger, and it's going to make the head. Okay. There we go. Got to melt that down. And the thing is that when it's really hot, it's actually moving quite fast. And you really got to know how to move the glass around. So you got to kind of use gravity and spinning it around to make it do what you want. That and a bunch of practice. Anybody who does this knows that that's part of it. This looks like, here we're going to put the head on the bee. Got a new tank of oxygen today. I got a new tank of propane last week. Man, I am ready to make some stuff. it'll gather on there, and then we're going to heat it up until it starts to shrunk down and looks like a head. Shrunk. And see, like when it's red hot like that, I've got to make sure that I'm not letting it have its way with the gravity. So that's what it looks like now. Now we're going to do the eyes, and if you're going to make these, you got to know that you got to put the eyes really far away from each other on the head, because when they melt down, they're going to expand, and when they expand on this particular shape, if you put them too close together, they will melt into each other, and then you'll have a one-eyed bead. Okay. A little bit of white on one side of the head, a little bit of white on the other side of the head, and then you melt them together. So they're really far away. See how far away they are? I'm going to melt them down. When I melt them down, they're going to expand. And they expand quite a lot, actually. And I'm going to put blue in there as well as black. So you want to make sure that they're really small so that they have room to expand. Here's two of the eyes. Right. I'm going to put blue in there. This is a dark aqua. Actually, that one eye needs to be a little bigger. If they're too small, they don't look as much fun. Big eyes is the way. And these are plant pokers. They go in house plants. They can go outside if you don't live in Colorado and have hail. We have hail here, so I don't recommend them for outside here. So we put a little blue dot for the eye, one eye, a little blue dot for the other eye. Melt those bad boys in. And with this particular color, you have to make sure you have a nice oxygenated flame. Otherwise, it will turn black. Just a little second. Okay, so the blue on the eyes, now I'm going to put the little tiny bitty bits in the eyeballs. Little tiny little bits. And I'll show you what his little face looks like. I think this guy's looking a little cross-eyed, but that's okay. Here's what the body looks like, and here's his eyes coming up. There's his eyes. So, there's his eyes, and now we gotta do the wings. Wings. Squish it for one wing. Oh my gosh, this one's really cute. And another one. These are the appropriate size for the bees. They're like bees. They're bee-sized. Good bee-sized. The bigger ones that I have remind me of, like, I don't know, a different bug that's much bigger than a bee. Skanga. Alright. Here's a bee. Tell you what, why don't we work another one? Let's make another one. And look how it goes. I gotta make 5 of these today, but I also want to make some beads. If you have any ideas for colors, please let me know. I would love to hear it. And I'll make beads. So I'm making, that was a skanga. So this is some of the earrings I'm doing. This is one of the pairs. So I make all the beads. I have a little blue bead at the bottom and this bead. And I've got a whole bunch of different styles of earrings. So when I have the earrings, I have to make a whole bunch of little beads. So I make a lot of black and white ones because we all wear a lot of black and white. If you have any other ideas for colors, let me know. I have a bunch of different colors, but I always like a suggestion. I'm going to make a Broncos one for my aunt. make it Kirby pearl. I don't know, man. Kirby's not really my dig, man. Sorry. I hate to say no to somebody for something, but I must say, I'm a bead maker. I don't make much accessories for pipe stuff. I use them, I just don't make them. So, not my realm, man. I make black and white ones. So I'm just looking for colors for beads. That's what I'm making right now. So when you're making a lot of beads at once, you can make the smallest, like usually if I'm making a set of earrings, I will make all the beads I need to make the earring set on one mandrel, the steel thing in the mandrel. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, Kirby Pearl isn't really my jam, but thank you for the suggestion. I was looking for color suggestions for my earrings that I'm making. There are a lot of Boro workers out there, though, that I'm sure would be more than happy to make you a Kirby Turbo. Lots, I'm sure of it. For me, we're going to make beads, because that's what we're getting. Carnival beads. Carnival beads. Like I said, I'm making bead. I mean, I can make carnival. Actually, I've made a carnival bead before. Yeah, I have one here. The thing about it is that I don't have a very good purple in soft glass. It just doesn't exist. Kirby pink. Oh. Pink or royal red. Alright. Do you want me to make it pink and red? I can do the next group for pink and red. I mean, I guess you could use a bead as a turf pearl. I mean, these are small enough, I would imagine. I'll have to look into that. I'm not sure. The turf pearls are like little mini marbles. Okay, so I'm just going to finish these beads right here, and then I'll do a pink and red one. So soft glass is what I'm using right now. This Italian soft glass. We have lots and lots of colors. We have pastels for April and spring. Yep, I can do that. So my palette is pretty extensive, and it's actually much bigger than the borosilicate palette. However, we don't have a great purple. They might be working on it, though. I'm going to have to check in with Jordan. He might have better ideas about purple than I do. We have this one kind of purple that's like a, it's called spring purple. It's beautiful. Oh, no, that's a boro. This is a EDP. Evil to Vitrifying Purple is what it's called. And that's why it's called that for a reason. Awful stuff. But it is a beautiful color. It's just tricky to work with. Again, like the transparent aqua, you really need to have an oxygenated flame to really rock that color and not have it be a mess. Alright, so I'm doing several at a time. I'm going to do 6 of them on this one. Sometimes I can make more, but I want to put little dots on this one. So we're going to make it like a little wheel with a bunch of different dots on it. And then we'll oil this. I'll show you the picture of the colors I have. I have lots of cool colors. There we go. And then we're going to put white dots on these bad boys. I make a lot of black and white ones, so here we go. That's what they look like now. Alright. And I'm going to put a little bit more black on this one because it's not quite big enough. So the other thing that's nice about doing a lot of them at once is you can see how big you want your other ones to be. If you want them to be the same size, you can make them simultaneously. Now that one's too big. Oh wait, no, it's just right. Okay. White. A little black and white ball of bead. So the way it works is that when I take these out of the kiln in the morning, after I do this, it goes in the kiln. And in the morning, when I get back to the studio, I clean all the beads, I section them out into what projects they're going to be, and I grab beads from the day before that need additional beads. And look how it goes. Okay. So this is one of the beads that needs more stuff to it. So I made that one yesterday, so I'm gonna have to make new stuff for it. So I try to make matching beads for like a necklace, but they didn't look the way I wanted them to. But I'm gonna do the red and pink. So these are the colors I have in those. So I've got royal red and pink. Let's see, how will those go? How's that, Malachi? That's what I got. All right. I'm gonna make a set of earrings with pink and red. Okay, I'm going to stretch this out into a stringer so I can apply it a little bit easier. Alright, so pull this out. It's not absolutely necessary to pull out stringers when you're doing dots. You can do it off the big rods, and some people do. I just prefer to have stringers for that. It's an extra step, but I kind of feel like it's a good idea. Okay, so this is the pink I'm going to use. Okay, first you have to get the mandrel, that's the steel here, and then it's coated with clay. It's called a bead release. Right now I am using Franz Art Glass and Supplies Dip and Go sludge, and that is a type of bead release. It wasn't great for a little while, but now it's back up to scratch, which is great. So there was a problem with the recipe for a little while there. Okay, so I'm going to make a few pink spacers. Little guys, super tiny. Tinier the better when it comes to earrings. Go, little guy. And so when it's red hot and it's on the move, you still have to move it. Like you still have to twist the... You still have to move the mandrel around. Okay, and then I'm going to make them even, which is tricky. I mean, they're right next to each other, but you're... I mean, just a tiny little bit off and you can tell. At least I can tell. I can tell. Add on a little bit more to make them even. Okay. So two little pink spacers on this mandrel. And the thing is, when you're doing lots of beads at once, especially ones with smaller holes, if you're not encasing them, you can just run down the whole mandrel and then put it in the cap. If you didn't know that, that's kind of a fun tip. Okay, this next one I'm going to do pink with red dots, like discs. Okay, a little bit bigger than the spacers from before. Make two of those. Here's your Kirby pink. This is the pink I have. There are a few different pinks. It's just the ones that I have right now in stock for color. So here we go. Now I'm going to make the second ball. So that's the second bead. Alright, and now I'm going to put little tiny dots all the way around that. Okay. Around the bigger ones. One, two, 3, 4, 5. I think 5 dots look best on these. And the thing about soft glass too is that it really wants to stick to itself. Like Boro, when you're working with Boro, you really have to mean it. Like you gotta give it some heat. I want these to be a little bit bigger. Once you get your placement down, you can kind of mess with it. right. Make this one a little bit bigger so that they match. Just a little bit. Just the smallest amount can really change the size. So this is what they look like now. Okay. And now we are going to do one. It's going to be encased. And if you're going to do encased ones, you have to do them last, because there is a chance that they're going to break. So what I tend to do is do them at the very end, so if they do break, then I can at least make earrings of the other two. So go over here, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to put red. I'm going to do a pink base. We're going to do two of them. And try and keep your heat away from the things I just did, because if I get them hot again, they will pop. So you're going to get your base down, make two of them, make them match. To the best of your ability. Alright, there's one. I'm going to make the second one match. And if it's a little too hot, which I think it is, it'll bubble up. Okay, so these are going to be striped beads, and the thing that's fun about this technique is I put dots on it, alternating with clear, and then it becomes stripes. It's really kind of neat. So, start with the base, those two pink balls at the end there, that's what I'm starting with. And then I'm going to take my red that I pulled, try and go for 6 dots. As far as dot placement goes, realistically, that just takes practice. It really does. I used to screw it up a lot more than I do now. Okay. Alright, so I got my dots on the ends. Now what I'm going to do is take clear rod. Okay. Keep them warm, and then I'm going to put a dot of clear in between each one of the red dots. Alright, so there's just clear alternating with the red. Okay? So now I'm going to melt them all down. You have to be careful how fast you spin this. I have noticed that when it starts to get really hot, and I do that too fast, it is actually affecting what happens with those lines. Sometimes they bleed out a little bit. Okay. So look how this became that. See stripes? Okay. So now we're going to go and do that again to the other side. Oops, clear. So we're going to do clear, and then what we're going to do after I make both of these look like that, we're going to go back over it and put clear in the middle, and it stretches all those stripes out. Okay. So this is where you gotta be careful, because the thing is that once you start getting this close to it, you gotta make sure that you're keeping everything hot. It can totally just pop off and, you know. So yeah, when they're this small and you're working hot, you have to definitely take them away when they start melting down, because otherwise they do weird things. Okay, so now I'm going to put a line of clear in between right in the very center of this bead. So that's what it's going to do is it's going to pull out those stripes so you can really see them. It's going to magnify it, so it looks really cool. Okay, I'm going to heat those guys up. It's good to have giant tweezer things available to make sure that you can even out your lines, make sure it doesn't get too big on one side or stick to the other bead. Stripes. I'm going to put another line in the middle of the other one. Remember, you got to keep the other one hot. If you don't keep the one that you originally did hot, it will pop. These guys I can keep cool, but these guys I got to heat. One big line. There we go. Okay. Melt them all down. Now this is where you gotta kind of be careful because your beads are gonna get really close to each other if you put them close on the mandrel. So when they start to spread out, you gotta keep an eye on those bad boys because they will spread out and melt into each other. And if they melt into each other, then they're not gonna work. Right. There it is. So I'm going to put them in the kiln. Off they go. And they'll be earrings very soon. Thank you for the color suggestion. I appreciate that. If anybody else has a color suggestion, I'm into it. Also need lip stuff. Oh, my lips are so chapped. Okay, now I'm going to do something a little different. I made the bees. I did the other thing. So these are cubic zirconia. Okay, I'm going to put the cubic zirconia on. I've got a marver next to me right here. So what I'm going to do is, I really like this technique. It looks really beautiful. And some of the ones I've been making recently have been making me really happy. So these guys are just tiny little CZs. Let me show you. Those are the CZs I'm using, okay? Super tiny. Okay? But when you put them in the glass, they magnify, so they don't have to be big. I'm going to use 2.25 is the best for me. Next what I'm going to do is I have these pieces of high temperature steel. They're very, very thin. Right? And I'm going to make a drop with it. So, we are going to do a, let's see here, we're going to do a pink drop. I'm going to take this pink right here, little tiny steel. I'm going to put a cubic zirconia in this. So I'm going to, when you use opaque colors, if you're going to put a CZ in it, you're going to need to encase it. So make your gather at the end of this happen. Just a little guy, depending on how big you want it, of course. And it's high temperature steel, so it's not going to Voldemort on you. And then I want to use gravity to kind of make it drop into like a little drop. And then I'm going to encase it. You want to encase it before you put in the CZ, just because if you put the CZ in after you do this, when you encase the CZ and put clear on top of it, it looks kind of weird, I think. I guess it's a personal preference, but that's where I'm at with it. So I'm encasing it. Go, nice and encased, and I got a weird little ball thing. So I'm going to heat that one up, and then I'm going to put a cubic zirconia in it. So here we go. Right now, I'm trying to get that shape the way I like it. And you have to kind of use gravity to sort of figure out where you want it, because it's moving right now. I have to play with it slowly to make it go where I want. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to put a cubic zirconia in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to superheat one side. And I have the CZs on my marver here, and I'm going to just press it onto the CZ. The CZ is on the flat part, is on the marver. And then I just push it on. So cubic zirconia. So it's kind of crooked, but that's okay. Encase it, it's going to be round anyhow. A little bit of clear on top of that. Alright. And then you just want to reshape it again. Go. You can't see the cubic zirconia in that thing. It's really cool. Anyways, it's in there. We'll make some beads again. Okay, so that's a CZ drop. I'm going to make another B. I mean, I've got to make 5 of them today, so that's what's happening. I have 2 of them in the kiln. I still need 3 more for the day. So I'm going to start. This is Italian soft glass I'm working with. So I'm going to get the steel rod hot. Black, dot. Okay. There we go. Tangle gather the end of this steel rod. Welcome. So this is black on steel. Italian soft glass. I'm going to squish it. Squish. So it's like a little black paddle in the end. And I'm going to take this dark yellow, or this medium yellow, and I'm going to add gathers on either side. So the first side I'm going to add a 2. I'm going to squish it with the paddle. What is your finishing? Actually, I've just started. Hi Elsie, stop Clifford Ray. I've started making a bee plant poker. So this is the very beginning of a glass bee plant poker. So that's what I'm making. Okay. So this is all Italian soft glass. I'm a lamp worker, so that means I use blowtorch to melt and manipulate glass rods. I work in Italian soft glass, so it's a little bit different than borosilicate, for example. Like Pyrex, like your dishes, that's borosilicate. This is Italian soft glass, so it's more like the kind of glass they use for like vases and stuff. Is that crack? Obviously, it's not crack, bro. So. Alright, here we go. One side's black and one side's yellow. I'm going to add black to the other side, or yellow to the other side. Make a little hamburger situation. Hamburgers! A little bit bigger on one side than it is on the other. not a pipe either, sweetheart. It's a bead. Okay. So, actually, beads have been made for thousands of years from glass. It's only been in the past, 20 years, I'm imagining. No, 50 years maybe, that borosilicate's even been a thing. Pipes weren't made as long as beads have been. Beads and soft glass have been around a lot longer. I work in both, but soft glass is definitely my favorite. Okay, so this is black on yellow on either side and black in the middle. Can you see that? So that's the first straight of the bead. So again, I am making bead plant pokers. Oh wait, this is a color. This is actually a different color. Also, you should check out my website at j9glass.art. Website. I think it's really lame that people think that people that work with glass, that the only thing that they can make is a pipe. That's so lame. But then again, sometimes people are not as creative, and maybe that's all they've seen, which I think is insane. But my perspective is not necessarily everybody's. Okay. So that's going to be the larger side, so that's going to be where I'm going to put the head. And then I'm going to put, since I've got black on either end, I'm going to put yellow on either end now. So I've got black, yellow, black, yellow, black. Put yellow on either end. And usually it doesn't matter whether I'm going, like, where I'm going to be adding the dots. You can add them from one side and then to the other side. I just kind of look at the size and see about how big I want it to be. And whichever side is leaning more towards being small or larger, I just kind of pick that. Or I bend it to my will. I guess I'm going to have to, if I'm going to do YouTube, I guess I have to adjust to the fact that there are trolls everywhere. I'm just going to work. Alright, here we go. On the very end here. Hi, how you doing? Welcome. Okay, it's the very last bit. This is the little bee butt. That's his little bum. I am in the United States. It's a weird place to be right now, I must admit. Not my favorite, but I'm in the United States, in Colorado. Where are you from, Anuj? I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. You're in the UK. Let's see here. I usually get all of my supplies from Franz Art Glass and Supply, and they're in Washington State. Gosh, I don't know about the UK, but that's usually where I get most of my supplies and the glass rods. But they're an American company, Franz is, but they import all the glass from Italy, so I don't know. The time is, I'm not sure what time it is. It's probably like 2:30 or so. I am making a little glass bee right now. That's what I'm doing, a freaking Mazzani. Nice. Well, these wigwags, get your studio back up, man. Seriously. You know dang well it's the most fun you can have being a human being. Well, I mean, one of the best things. But, yeah, I'm working with soft glass. Yeah. So we're Italian soft glass. I also work with Boro, but this is a soft glass day. And I am making little glass bees for plant stakes. What is the name of the blowtorch? That's a technical name. This one is called a barracuda. So the barracuda is really nice for Boro and for soft. It's almost a little too hot for soft, but it does work. And I can also change, I've got 4 controls, so I can use the whole rosebud here. So I'm only using the center core right now. Fetty boss, go to sleep well. Alright. Yep. So here we go. So I'm going to make the head of the bee. What's the most wary? I'm not sure. I don't know what the last word is. Bye. Cool. Right on. Right on. That's awesome. Well, I'm in Colorado. And, yeah. What's the most weird thing you ever made? Let's see here. Weird thing. Let's see here. Let me think about it. I'll show you. I'll show you one of the weird things I made. Let me just finish this bee and I'll show you. Love to see your techniques. Love from India. Thank you so much. It's nice to see you too. Is that the Cure in the background? You better believe it. Love me some Cure. I'm 51 years old and I have loved the Cure for many years and I always will. They're the best. He still puts on a mean show, I've heard. I've heard he still is performing and just killing it. He is odd and amazing and I've always really respected that. Alright, so I'm going to put the eyes on this bee and then I'm going to show you one of the weirdest things I've made. So it's, I'll show you. They're cute. Sometimes I play other kinds of music, but today it's my Cure radio. Alright, so this is dark aqua, and I'm going to put, these are the eyes of the bee. This is what the bee looks like so far. Right? Put little tiny blue bits in there, little tiny ones. Yeah, it's really amazing, also tricky. Yeah, I've been doing this for 25 years. I mean, legit half of my life, so it helps to have done it for a while. You cannot read my name, the Judy, sorry. It's kind of tricky, too, to be able to read different names that I can't see while I'm doing this, because I don't want it to cool down either. All right, here we go. And there's blue eyes in there. There's the bee. Yeah, this is one of my lower priced items I do. This is just kind of a fun, like especially these days. I mean, I'm in the United States. I feel like we're all kind of freaking out over here, and I feel like money is going to be tight. So all the shows I usually do stuff at, I have no idea what's going to happen. So I really have to make a lot of little tiny things as well, not just the big stuff. So I'll show you some of the big stuff here in a sec. All right, here's the eyes of the bee. Isn't that cute? The bees are 30, and they're on my website at j9glass.art. I'll ship wherever. Yeah, they're 30 for the bees. Alright, here we go. Put little wingy wings on. Gotta put little wings in French. What in French? Sorry, I didn't see that. If I miss any of these comments, it's because I'm focusing on doing this. I'm so sorry. So I'll go back through the comments here in a second. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Okay, here's these guys. I'm going to squish the one wing. And I'm going to make another wing. Yeah, the bees are 30. I've made them a lot bigger in the past, but I've got to make them tiny. They look way cuter this way anyways. But they don't take that much longer to make. But the amount of glass is important because glass is now more expensive than it used to be, which is frustrating. So there we go. And there's the bee. Ta-da! Wee little glass bee. He's tiny. See how big he is? He's little. If he kill me goes. Okay, so one of the weirdest things I've ever made, you asked. I haven't made thimbles. I might be able to make a thimble. I have a type of mandrel that I use for rings, but if I were to put the glass over it, maybe. Yeah, I'm so glad that you like it. Yay! I'm so glad that you enjoy it. Yay! Let me show you. This is the weirdest thing I've ever made. So this guy is one. This is Boro. So I work in Boro sometimes. But this guy's one of my little guys. He's got little things. He's holding a heart, but look, ready? He's got little butt cheeks and wings. And he stands like this. So that's one of the weirdest things I've made. I made some weird stuff, and then also I make peppermint monsters for Christmas. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Sherry. Sharmish. Sharmish? Thank you. All right, so that's one of the weirder things. I'm making beads now. I gotta get back to work. So if you want to see some of my work, though, go to j9glass.art. That's my website. And then the new earrings and stuff are coming out soon. Check these out. So the earrings. Thimble? Maybe I will. The only problem with trying it right now is I gotta wait for the clay to go. I think that this would work. This is a ring mandrel, and if I coat it with the glass, it will work. The thing is, I've got to put bead release on it first, so it doesn't stick to the metal. And then I gotta wait for it to dry. So, okay, Sam, got it. Hi, Sam. Nice to meet you. All right. Thimble, huh? Okay, I'll tell you what I do, because I am going to get this one ready for tomorrow. So I'm going to put the bead release on it now. And when I see it tomorrow, I'll be like, oh, I've got to make a thimble. So I'll totally try that. That's a fun idea. I've never thought about making a thimble. It's a good idea. I've been working on some hummingbird feeders. Nice. That's cool. Yeah, working with the bigger glass, like Boro, you can really build with. The soft glass you can build with, but you really need a hot shop. You need to have like a glory hole in the whole business. Boro really lends itself to not having to do that. Like this is some of my other Boro stuff. That's one of my hanging vases. This is Boro. And then I sign them. My name's Janine and everything's signed J9. Anyways, so thimbles, yeah. But why 9918? I'm going to make a thimble tomorrow. I'm going to set it up so I can make it tomorrow. I've got to let the clay dry. I might be able to get this through. Yeah, so I make all kinds of stuff. Thank you so much, Wally's with bags. Yeah, I really like making the little vases. The little vases are so cute. Alright, so here's this. And I'm going to dip this so that... Alright, so this is the mandrel I'm going to use to make a thimble. I'm going to try and make a thimble, totally. My Mercury's down. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, I am actually, the technique's called lamp working, actually. So blowing glass, if you want to get technical, is usually referred to for hot shot glass, that's large scale. But I'm a lamp worker, yeah, I'll be working with glass. Now, this is my full-time job. I also teach. Do I have money? No. No, I do not. I've lived like an artist for a very long time, y'all. I've been doing this a long time. So here's this. Let's see here, but why? I do the glass, I'm a lamp worker. I have done the hot shot large scale glass. I've done the hot shot glass a few times. The trouble with the large scale glass is you really need to have a big furnaces, and you've got to be able to get the glass melted and heated up. It takes quite a lot to make a hot shot happen. You have to have money to make a hot shot happen too. That's fact. This doesn't require quite as much upkeep or like I've had this torch for years, and this is about a $2,000 torch, but to get the kind of equipment you need for hot shop is nuts. Like, it's really expensive. Custom tongue rings. Yeah, I stay away from hot shop too. It's just too much. I mean, Boro honestly feels like too much sometimes. But yeah, custom tongue rings. I don't tend to do any body jewelry. I have done a few plugs, but I don't specialize in body jewelry. Sorry, I don't make pipe stuff, and I don't make body jewelry. Like, I make regular, just these kinds of things. Just because I don't have them, I don't have any reference for them. So, I have made plugs, but I don't make body jewelry. I make stuff like this, and this will be on my website soon, but I don't do plugs. So I have a thing for it. I have this. This is for gauges. For Gilbert. Yeah. So this is a Titan's got a cool handle. The handle on that thing. So this is for plugs. This is for gauges. The only thing about it is, though, is you've got to get them totally flat. Otherwise, when people buy them and they put them in their ears, if they don't have like a sleeve on it, if there's any divots in the glass, they can make their ears infected. You mean nice? I have interest to watch you. Hope you spoke well. I'm India. Nice to meet you, Thadjunine. Judine. Nice to meet you. Hello. Yeah. So these guys, yeah, for the earplugs. Yeah. Okay. Hot. All right, here we go. What color should I do, y'all? Give me some colors. What color should I do? How about, let's do Broncos colors. I've got an aunt that really likes the Broncos. I don't do sports of any kind, but my aunt does, so we're going to give her a nice orange. This, I believe, is called Halloween orange. It's a really pretty orange. So I'm going to cut a piece of that off. It's not burned, and I'm going to do that with blues. So we're going to do that bright orange. These are the Broncos colors. And then black and purple. I got you, but why? Let's see here. Purple. Purple's tricky with soft glass. Boro has better purples. Like, we have more colors overall in soft glass, but I'll tell you, purple's kind of not the greatest. So this is, you can barely see it, but this is a transparent purple. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch this one out, and I'm going to put it on top of white so you can see the purple, and then I'm going to put black dots on it. So we'll do the black and purple one first, and then I'll do the Broncos one. Okay? Okay. I also need lip stuff. My lips are so chapped. Chops, if you're still watching, stole another one. Ow. Okay. Alright, here we go. Black and purple. What's gonna do? Oh, relief. Very much better. Okay. Right. I do steal all the chapsticks that belong to me. You only have to burn your lips one time outside. Yeah, but you still love me, right? Okay, here we go. As long as I stole your heart, then. All right, here we go. So we're gonna do purple. This is purple. Okay, that's black. This is purple. Oh man, they're hard to tell. Hold on. And actually, the black is purple. If you don't know that. Hold on. Hold your horses. I'm coming. Big one is purple. Okay. All right, here we go. Been melting glass for about 5 years now. Any words of advice for a newbie? If you are selling it, make sure you have small stuff and big stuff. That's super important. If you're selling stuff, that's just a big deal. Make sure you have good ventilation. Oh, and stretch. If you're going to be in the studio a lot, you really need to stretch. I've only just recently learned that, and I've been doing this forever. And if you don't stretch, you really will mess up your back. I'm here to tell you right now, it's just true. Like my upper back is not usually very happy, but I do stretch, and when I stretch, it makes me feel a lot better. Okay, so here we go. We are going to do white. Actually, I'm going to pull stringers of this first. Let's pull stringers of this first. Stringers. Because otherwise I'm just going to pick it up thinking it's black again, I'm sure. Okay. There we go. Very quickly. The soft glass moves really fast. So keeping up with this stuff is a little tricky. So technically, black glass is a very dark purple. But this is actually dark purple, and it's, if you put it over white, you can see it. So if I put the black over the white, it still looks like black because it's such an intense purple, but you can't use it as purple. Black is going to look like black. Anyways, so this is purple. I'm trying to see it now a little bit. Okay, so we're going to do white first. Pull my two small spacers first. So one. Okay. And then I'm going to do another one. My lives are usually about this time. It's 2 o'clock Mountain Standard Time here in the United States. So that's when I'm going to be doing my lives here. I used to do them on TikTok, but I've decided that YouTube is a better move. Here we are. Besides, TikTok doesn't like me protesting either. That's probably the thing. Alright, so I'm going to go back in and do another 2. There's one. Alright, so those are about the same size. Now I'm going to take my purple stringer, and I'm going to put a line of purple on the white, and I'm going to melt it down. So I'm trying to do 2 lines if I can. 1, 2. Okay. So when that all stretches out, it's going to look purple. Oh, we were going to do black and purple, that's right. Okay, still going to do black. And I'm going to do this one with the purple on top of the white. I'm going to even those out, and then I'm going to put clear on top of that to stretch it even further to really show that purple. That's what I'm making right now. This is how glass beads are made. So this is steel. This is a bead release. I am using Franz Art Glass and Supplies sludge. And then, so there's a clay on the end of the steel. And then once I finish the beads, I take them off the steel and I clean them. I clean the little holes from the inside, and that's how beads are made. So this is how you do it. Not a sponsor? What do you mean, Ben? Alright, here we go. There we go. Alright, so I have one bead of the purple on white, and then clear. And then another layer of clear on the other side. And then I'm going to put little black dots on it. And those will make darling earrings. You mentioned Franz Art by name, and they are not a sponsor of your channel. No, they're not a sponsor. I'm not a sponsor. No. They're just a great company, and that's who I use. There are other companies out there, but that's who I go through. So one cool thing about glass beads, they've been around for thousands of years, like literally thousands of years. So that's kind of exciting. And also, the thing that's neat about beads is that after all the humans are gone, the glass beads will be staying. And they'll look exactly like they do now, which is kind of cool. I've always really liked that about it. It's kind of an interesting way to leave a legacy. Okay. And now you gotta get these guys even, and of course they're not even yet, so I'm gonna have to add a little more clear. It's a little frustrating, but no, those are close enough. Okay. So that's what purple looks like. And now I'm going to put black dots on it. How did they superheat glass in the way back days? They made very small ones. That's why it's called lamp working, because they used to use oil lamps. Weird, right? So they're making small stuff, oil lamps. These black dots. And the purple will really stand out a lot more once it's cool. Two more. Okay. They're a little wonky. Will I need sand to turn to glass? I don't know. good question. It sounds like a question for the internet. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. It's a good question, but why? Good question. I don't know. I don't have the answer to that, I'm afraid. But it's a good question. I know that there's things like lightning glass that happen. Like if you are the dunes, the sand dunes, if lightning hits the sand dunes, there's a type of glass that happens when lightning hits it. So it kind of, it like striates out in all these little like weird lines, I guess. Yeah, lightning glass, that stuff's cool. So maybe, I mean, seriously, if you can hit the dunes just in Colorado, the sand dunes, and lightning can hit it and it can turn to glass, maybe. I mean, there's a lot of, in order to make color in things, you have to add different kinds of metals and stones and all sorts of stuff to make it work. Yeah, it's the extreme heat part. So silica is the base of sand, I would imagine. That's what sand is, and that's what glass is. So, all right, we got blue over here. I gotta make an orange stringer as well. My Aunt Maxine loves the Broncos, so we are going to make her some Bronco earrings because she takes such good care of my mom, and they're really good. Robin, it's nice to have you on the torch with me right now. It's new. It's nice to have all of you here. I really appreciate you being here. I have to make these things anyway, and so I figure I might as well have you guys here. If you are in Colorado, I do teach classes in bead making. So all the stuff that I'm doing here, I can teach it. And I'm at the Manitou Art Center. We have a wonderful art center here in Manitou Springs, Colorado. And they have classes in everything. You can take classes in dyeing fabric, or sewing, or metal, or blacksmithing, or welding, or woodwork, or you name it. It's pretty rad in here, it really is. So this is my, fourth studio in 25 years here. So I've been here on and off for a long time. I love it here though, I really do. So we're going to take this small mandrel, little guy, thin. Right? So this is steel. Is glass always clear in its natural state? I doubt it. They probably have to refine it quite a lot to make it clear, is my guess. This is steel, right? This is steel rod. And then that stuff that's on the end here, that's the bead release. And that's what makes the hole in the bead. This is the stuff that I'm using. Right? But I also use other kinds sometimes. Yeah, I can't imagine that in its natural state. What's funny is I know how to work with it, but there's a lot of technical questions that I've had people ask me that I really just don't know. I don't know. Alright, so I'm going to do orange first. Yeah, here we go. Bigger rods, bigger beads. I could do, yeah, bigger rods mean bigger beads. So if I have bigger steel, yeah, bigger steel rod means bigger hole beads, yes. And sometimes I use those too. Kind of an earring mayhem right now, just trying to get earrings made for the summer. So I start with little spacers at the bottom because they require the least amount of attention. And I have to put them in the kiln, but I don't necessarily need to reheat them. They can just hang out there and get cold and not freak out. For the most part. If you put clear on them, they will pop. Okay. Try to make them as even as possible. Bigger holes. So bigger holes will make, bigger rods, not necessarily. I mean, I guess if you use bigger rods, you can make bigger beads. Yeah. But if you start with a bigger hole, then you're starting bigger anyways. So, yeah. So it's bigger holes and bigger beads. I mean, you can make small beads with bigger holes, but yeah, it depends on what you want. I hope I'm answering this question properly. make them even. So here's the orange part of the earrings. And I get little orange base beads. This one needs to be a little bit bigger. Okay. That's about right. Close enough. Very close. And then I'm going to do blue. And I'm going to pull it out. So, I mean, I can make small beads with this rod. I don't necessarily need a smaller rod for it. But just for the tiny details, when I put the little dots on it, I like to have a smaller stringers. That's just a preference, though. I think that depends on the person who's making it, like what your preference is. So I'm going to build this up kind of like a disc. So I'm kind of building it up. And then, alright, so I'm going to melt that down. I'm moving it a little hot right now. Blue. And now we're going to do another blue one, and we're going to put it right next to it. I'm going to put little orange dots on both of them. And that other one is not round. Oh my gosh, it's so long. We might leave that one and do another one. Ooh, wonky, 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 wonky. Super wonky. I might be able to save it. Let's see. It might pop. Let's see. Now I'll just start over again. Okay. Go. Another blue one, and we're going to put orange dots on it. The other one just looks wonky, so I'm going to skip it. I've also found with soft glass, it's better to start over when you're having a hard time than it is to try and fix it. I feel like that's pretty much across the board with glass, and maybe that's just me, but fixing it really can get messy. It's much better to, I think. Let's see here, what is the glass used? This is Italian soft glass. This is Moretti. I also use borosilicate sometimes. I make boro stuff, but this is soft glass. So Italian soft glass, it's Moretti. Comes from the Effitre factory in Italy. The gas that I use, the gas I use is oxygen and propane. So oxygen and propane. Bottled oxygen and bottled propane. Okay, orange. Geodots. Five dots, I think is cute. Okay, it's oxygen and propane that are the gases that I use. You should always tie back your hair and wear a headband. The girl with my heart scholarship for the day wants to month. All right, I will do that. I will do that. I will do that. I believe you. I got a hair tie right here. I'll put it back. Besides, it's hot. I usually don't wear my hair down when I'm doing a glass, mainly because it's hot. That sounds horrible. Was it with lamp working that happened, Emma Lou? Was it lamp working or was it hot shop? I guess it doesn't matter. If you're working with fire, it's a glass whistle possible. Okay, I'll put my hair back. Thank you very much. Okay, here we go. Time to put the hair back. It's a good move. I believe you. That's good advice. Glass whistle. I think it's glass whistle. imagine a glass whistle probably is possible. The blowtorch just scored, so her head was down. My head's up, but still, it's good advice. I will put my hair up, and thank you so much, Emmylou, for your advice. I'll take it. Besides, then you can see my cute earrings. It's funny, when you don't need a hair tie, they're everywhere, but when you need a hair tie, there you can't find them. I have a hair tie, but I use a rubber band. Question. A picture of your bead, please. Yeah, actually, let me show you. This is what they look like. I have a bunch of them. This is one that's cooled. If you check out my website, Catherine, check out j9glass.art, and that's where my website is, so you can buy them there. There's a whole bunch of pictures of them. I think they're actually a little bit bigger online. So, yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Jose. Thank you. Okay, hair's up. Hair is going back. It's a good move. It's a good move, girl. I really appreciate that. Thanks for looking out. Alright. Okay. This is a rubber band, and it's going to start coming out later, but it's just... Okay. Hair's back, and now you can see my cute earrings. Okay, so, thank you. And I also make them in rainbow. So I make rainbow beads, but I'm sold out of them. And I also make little hearts with smiley faces, too. What else do I make? And for Christmas, I make the beads, but then I put Santa hats on them. And they're pretty ridiculous. And I also make bats and skulls. Yeah. So that's what I do. What's next? We're going to do... I'm going to make a bigger bead, I think. The wings are textured. No, not really. They're basically just pushed down when I put it. When you push down the glass and you squish down the wings, they kind of make this like thumbprint kind of a thing. So they are a little textured. Yeah, they're a little textured. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, they're cute. I do really well with them. I have got other things I want to make today, but yeah, I got to make the bees because the bees are selling, and they also are going to Santa Fe. I have an order of 20 of them going to Santa Fe, so. All right. What do I want to do here? I'm kind of loving this orange and green combination. Thank you. This orange and green, so it's pea green, and I think that this is also that Halloween, yeah, orange. I made another set of earrings with that, but I think I'm going to do another one because they're really cool. All right, here we go. Killer Bees on Saturday Night Live. What year was that? Do you remember? I don't remember that. I kind of remember like the Killer Bee thing happening in the world. Okay, so you gotta heat up the mandrel first. That's the steel. I'm gonna make my spacers first. John Belushi, man, he's so cool. It's awesome. Yeah, Saturday Night Live is pretty much the best. My partner and I have a whole, I think all the original Saturday Night Lives on DVD, and we haven't watched them yet. We really need to watch those. Gilda Radner, do you remember Gilda Radner? God, she was so funny. She was so cool. Alright, here we go. Yeah, Saturday Night Live back in the day, tell you what. Alright, 2 little tiny spacer beads for this first part. They're about the same size. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I got YouTube, there's bad ones too. Yeah. The fact that we have YouTube at all, I think, is a freaking miracle. The fact that I can do this right now. Gosh, I grew up in a time of, as I imagine a lot of people did, a time of, you know, entering a form on the wall. Now we have it in our pockets. It's crazy. We'll never adapt to that, seriously. Oh, really? How am I better than Doctor? What do you think? Depends on what's ailing you, man. I feel like there's too much going on that's negative in the world, and I'm absolutely sick of it. I can't operate like that. I can't even focus on good things, and that's not okay. So, glass is the good thing. ASMR therapy, cool, good. Well, I'm glad I'm helping out in some way. This is orange, and I'm going to put little dots of orange around this on this green. I like these little dots to be kind of big. Whenever I make them small, they look wimpy. I like these to be big. So this is how the beads are made. There we go. I'm going to do it again. And my lives are usually going to be at about 2 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, which is now-ish. And I will definitely be doing them on Mondays and Tuesdays. Alright. Gotta get just the right size. I'm a little particular about that. I don't know if I need to do that. Bead beads. Actually, I have to make some of those today too. So the bead beads that I make are with cane. So I'm a cane puller. So that means that I make teeny tiny little pictures in the glass, and I slice those little pictures, and then you can put those in the glass. So again, just 2 more beads on here, and then I'll bust. Actually, I gotta make ladybugs. So I have ladybugs. Go. So there's a green. I love this color combination. It's such a weird one. So those black dots are going to turn bright orange. They're going to be great. So here we go. So I'm going to see if I can find my chips of cane. So I'm going to get my ladybug cane, and then we can chip some cane off of that. Like this is. Here's a bee. I don't know if you can see this, but I'll try and show you. So this is one of my, oh, no, I dropped it, so that's not helpful. Let me get another one. What's my best selling item? Probably the bees, but then the earrings I'm just introducing this year. So, and I also have these things called 3-in-1s, where they're like keychain, purse, charm, necklace things that I'm making. So they'll be on the website next month. But this is a bee. I don't know if you can see that. But that little thing right there has a really super tiny image of a bee in it. So I make this thing, line by line, and I stretch it. Here's an eye. This is easier to see. The bees are awfully small. This is what the eye looks like. Right? So, but the ladybugs are about that small too. So, let's see if I can find them. Okay, I have a lot of bee actually. So okay. So this is a bee all the way down. You can't see it, but this is a bee cane. It's super tiny. Super ultra mega tiny. Snapple box. So the bees should probably be on something they can really be seen on. So I think green is a good move. I'm going to mix. I'm just way too busy, so I'm just going to do this. It's green. Okay. Okay, here we go. Here we go. One tiny little bee. Two. So you have to chip cane. You can use a saw, but then you have to put it in the kiln and make it smooth. So, okay. Let's see if I can make that. I think I'm gonna do it on a drop. Let's do it on a drop. So instead of putting a CZ on a drop, I'm gonna put a bead. So let's get the green going. Okay. Green. This is actually petroleum green. No, this is grass green, sorry. Petroleum green is kind of a bluish green. So I'm just going to make a little drop on this, and then I'm going to encase it, and then I'm going to put a bee on it. That's my plan. So, making small beads with bees is tricky, because the cane is so tiny. People do it. I just haven't done it in a little while. We'll see. I don't know if I could do one of those live. It's like a cane. I don't think I can pull a cane live either. It's just a lot of focus. Like this stuff I can do pretty much whenever and it's no problem, but some of your stuff is really hard to make. Okay. And then encase it. Because just like the CZ, if you put the piece on there and then you encase it with just a dot of the clear, it'll look weird on the opaque. Okay. In case it's wonky, but that's okay. What I'm going to do is just melt it out. So yeah, I do my lives usually at 2 o'clock. That's after I've cleaned the beads, made some jewelry, got myself all set up. But yeah, this is my full-time gig. I've been doing this for a long time. Yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna get this to, I want it to shrunk a little more. it look more drippy. I feel like that part's kind of hard to do after you put the other thing on it. Okay, so it's red hot. I'm gonna hover over my cane chip here, although I do need a hot plate at some point, but here we go. And hover over it, and then I'm gonna squish it on. Hover, squish. Ah, didn't get hot enough. Do the other side. Alright, let's try again. Nice. Alright. So, you can't really see it, but there's a bead cane in there. Right? So it's a cane chip with a bead. I'm going to heat it up just a little bit. Flatten it just a little bit. So what we're going to do, if you flatten it or heat it up too much, you screw up the image. Do you think we guys learn that benefit in Colorado roll? I don't know. I mean, it does for me because I smoke it, but I mean, I don't think it has for the glass artists, honestly, because it was a hit for a while, but now I feel like you can get glass, Indian glass, Mexican glass from all over the place, and they sell it really cheap. So, like, I don't bother with pipes at all because, dude, you can get them in, I could get a one hitter at the gas station. You know, and I'm not willing to make anything that you can get at the gas station. I've been doing this too dang long. But I think the fitness overall helps Colorado. I mean, I don't know. I know that Manitou, the town where I'm at, in the studio, they did not account for it being legalized in other parts of Colorado. So Manitou is the only place you could get it, and now they're upset because they don't have the same tax dollars that they had from it before. They charge 20% tax on that stuff. It's crazy. So I don't know if you can see this, but there's a bee trapped right in there. Super small. Yep. It's a little tiny guy. So, don't. Alright. Alright, I want to make... Oh yeah, so I have these here because I have to make beads for them. So this one, I need other beads to make something with it. Like a bee and amber, yeah, that's what it kind of is like. So I'm going to make these colors here. So this is this blue, or no, wait, sorry. It is this blue, which is a beautiful lapis. And then this super funky green. And white. So these are the colors I have to work with. This is going to be a neck charm, but I have to make the beads that go around it. So I'm going to do one of them actually on a bigger mandrel. I think I'm going to do it in white. That's what I'm going to do. And I know what I'm going to do. There we go. We're going to make it a little bigger. This is going to be white. White with blue and green. I want this to be kind of a bigger disc. Hi, Fatty Jean. How are you doing? Hello. So I want to make this one kind of big because it's got to go in the bottom of that larger bead. And so the mandrel's going to be bigger. If you want a bigger bead, you want a bigger mandrel, because if you try and like string a big bead that has a small hole, it's a little... I mean, I guess if that's what you want to do, you can do that. But Okay, I want this to be sort of a disc. It's kind of a disc. And then I'm going to do 4 green dots. And then I'm going to put little blue dots in the middle of that. Maybe. This is a little bit snappy poppy, but that's okay. Oops. I got stuck. He's too big. Come here, buddy. You don't go there. Okay. Thanks for what? There we go. What up, Roman? Thanks for what? Okay, here we go. We're gonna melt it all down. So I'm gonna melt out little dots of green and blue alternating on white. Melt them all down, and then they're gonna create stripes, and then I'm gonna clear over that, and it's gonna be a pretty big disc. Can 2 or more colors be blended into the primary bead? Yes. I have a few of them that I blend. Mixing color looks really cool. Yeah, can do that. All right. A little square bead here. All right, now I'm going to put, actually I'm going to put little white dots on the inside of the beads too. It makes it real fancy. So I'm going to put white in the middle of all the blues. Okay. And now I'm going to put a line of clear all the way around it. Yeah, and the thing is that the colors blended, like you can mix colors, like you can mix them enough to where they actually blend with each other and mix to a different color. But I like them when they're kind of marbleized, but they're not quite mixed yet. So that's the way I usually do it. Okay. Got a nice gather going on there. Alright. And then just down the middle. Funny, whenever I put down a hot rod and there's like a, I don't know, a piece of my hair or something came down onto my bench, it's like the worst smell ever. Burning hair. So what that's going to do when I put that clear line on all these dots that have been melted, it turns them into stripes, which is kind of cool. And I'm going to make sure that I have it the shape that I want and the same thickness. Hi, Fudge Jean. Okay, now I'm going to put a green dot inside the white because I can. You know what? when you make your bead, you don't have to put little green dots on it. See that? Cute. Little tiny guys. Thank you, Thunderchin. I'm actually gonna melt those all the way down. Hitting the 2-hour mark in 10 minutes. So my lives are usually from 2 to 4. I'll be doing them more on YouTube. Okay, I'm going to put that one on the kiln. It's just a little guy, but I don't want to risk it by taking it anywhere else. And then this one, actually, I'm going to do some of this. See this bead right here? That inside color in the core there, that's mixed. Right? I love that mix. It's so pretty. So we're going to do some of that. It's gorgeous. Yeah, so that's these two. I think that we're going to need to use the mix for this bead. I got to make the right arrangement to make that one, to really make that whole thing look as good as it could. Okay, so these are soft glass. Again, I'm working with Italian soft glass, and this is mixing 2 different colors. This is a transparent cobalt blue and a pea green. Again, these are Italian soft glass. This is Murano glass. And I like to have them kind of marbleized. I like to kind of marbleize them a little bit. Like those big paperweights that are big money. I don't make the big paperweights. Yeah, big glass is kind of nuts. And actually, the Murano glass is famous for all kinds of things. The glass beads, the paperweights, vases, sculpture. Venice, Italy or Murano, Italy is where it's at. So it gives a little bit more of this blue. Keep twisting it together, marbleizing it a little bit. Yeah, this one marbleized looks really cool. Yeah, the paperweights are really cool. I don't know how to do those. We are going to start doing some fusing around here at some point. I'm not sure when. I've been planning it for a while, but it's just, life gets a little bit nuts. But, okay. This is what it looks like all melted in together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it out. Okay? I feel like it needs a little bit more blue, actually. A little bit more blue. Extra string should be pretty good. So I'm going to pull this out into a stringer, and then we're going to make beads with that. The green seems a little bit meltier than the blue. Yeah, this color combination mixed is really cool. Are you familiar with the world famous glass blowers in California back in the 70s? They had a workshop. Which glass blowers? Like Snodgrass? Like for pipes and stuff? Yep, Snodgrass, I know who that is. Yeah, those are all pipes. That's all the whole pipe Mecca started then, but the beads have been around for thousands of years, so just saying. Okay, so I'm going to do another one here. Here we go. This is what this looks like mixed, but I'm going to put it... We're actually going to do another disc bead, but I'd like to put dots of that on there. See what that looks like. Go. Keep building and building and building. Yeah, apparently there was a documentary made about those guys, about the Snodgrass Revolution glass. Do you make neon glass tubing? No, that is whole nother realm of glass. I buy the tubing, and I can work with tubing, but I don't make neon. No. Neon is its own thing. It's kind of like when people ask me if I can make glass eyes, people go to school specifically to make eyes, like prosthetic eyes. Like, there's so many different ways to do glass. It really is pretty amazing. So I'm just going to do little dots around this, and then we're going to melt them down and see what they look like. I think those will look really pretty. I'm going to melt these guys down, and then I'm going to put clear over it, and I think those will be pretty. Okay. That's not as cool as I wanted it to be. We're just going to wrap it around. See, look, it's okay. It's alright. Yeah, medical glass is, when you do get into that stuff's nuts too. So the medical glass is scientific glass. Usually they use crystal, so they're using actual quartz crystal, and that's what they're making stuff with, which is incredible. So, and they're working with nuts heat. Like, Boro works pretty hot. Soft glass works hot in the scheme of what's hot, but yeah, tell you what, the scientific glass is hot, crazy hot. Alright, so I'm just going to get this one all the way around here. And then we're going to put clear on it, get this nice and flat. Yeah, that'll look way cooler. So, you can't really see it. When it comes out of the kiln, you'll be able to see it, but whatever. It's going to be cool. Clear on that. Yeah, the scientific glass is very cool. I've been offered a job doing that one time at a place, and they were going to teach me how to do it since I knew how to do the glass. But their workshop meant, and it was hot, so the workshop meant that you had to be at work by like 4 in the morning. And I'm like, for $20 an hour, I'm not doing it. Now maybe, just because everybody needs money, including me, but you know. Alright, here we go. Real slow. If you try and pull the glass and it's not ready to go, and you don't wait till it has some give to it, you will drag your bead right off the mandrel. So you have to wait until it's totally melted and it's really ready to go. If it's not ready to go, you'll know. Do all the pieces have to finish in the kiln? Yes. Even the little guys. So everything's in the kiln right now. My kiln is at 925 degrees, and it'll ramp up just a little bit to soak when I turn off the kiln, when I program it to do so, and then it'll slow cool for a while. So Actually, Ben knows the details of he programmed it, but yeah. So they're all in the kiln right now. And melt all this down. If it spreads it out, it looks really cool. So when you put the clear on, it kind of stretches out the clear that you just put on. All right, and I am at 2 hours, friends. I am at my maximum. I have to walk around and finish my work for the day. So the live portion of my day is coming to a close. But it sure was fun having you all here. And I will be live again tomorrow at 2 o'clock, about this time. You add pieces to the kiln at any given time. Yes. It's a bead kiln. Any given time I can put stuff in the kiln. We'll put little dots on this one. Yes, you can add pieces to the kiln anytime. It has a little bead door on it, so it's like a little tiny door. So I put the whole thing, the metal, all of it goes in the kiln. Yeah. Thank you for all the questions, but why? I guess you got an appropriate name, huh? That's good. I love answering questions if I know the answer to them. Okay, 2 more. Now, I feel like my dots have been a little drunk today. I am not drunk, but my dots look like they are. They're a little wonky. See how it kind of runs up and down? I may have to redo that one. Oh well. Hey, thank you so much. 1,000 questions, but why? But that's totally great. I will be here again tomorrow if you care to join me. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel. Put this in the kiln. Everybody have a wonderful day, and I really appreciate you joining me today. I will be back here again, so whatever your time frame is, whatever time it is where you are, 2 hours from the time it is right now is about when I'm going to be on. So I go from 2 to 4 Mountain Standard Time, but whatever time. Go home, Dots. I'm not going home yet. Go home, Dots. Thank you so much for joining me. Hey, Georgia. Fantastic. Love it, but why? Hi, Katie Kiefer. I'm just about to turn off my camera because I've been on here for 2 hours, but I'll be back tomorrow. So if you want to see some lamp working, I will be back tomorrow. 2 hours from right now, the reverse. Like, go back 2 hours, and that's when I'm starting. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.